Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to this video. This is an update for Bitcoin, and I'm also going to be talking about Sui. I want to give you a very quick example on how Bitcoin will affect, obviously, altcoin prices and how it affects those altcoin prices. So there's a bit of a educational theme in this video. So I'm going to begin with just very quickly recapping previously what I said was for Bitcoin to come up. I think I said to about 108K, and potentially we could see 97K. So I think that was last week. I done that video. Okay, we squeezed up higher. We came up into 110, and we did not get a drop to 97K. Okay, so 102K was defended. Okay, putting in a higher low, and we've since pushed up for a lower high at 108, and now we're just sort of sitting at 104K. So the question is, with the looming event of Fed interest rates at 2 o'clock Eastern time, depending on what comes out of that speech or that number, we could potentially see an upside push or a downside. You can see we're literally sitting in the middle right now. So in the scenario that we do get that move to 97K, this is what I want to show you. So on the 11th of June, okay, Bitcoin moved down from here down to this wick here. Okay, so we could say 7%. So we dropped 7%. Now, the effect that had on altcoins. So this is Sui, who I also done analysis on. And as you can see, I've got an alert here. So I'm waiting for this kind of region. But I'm going to recap that in a second. So we're going to measure from the 11th, which is here, right down into the 14th. Okay, 20%. We had a 20% drop in Sui. Meanwhile, on Bitcoin, we had a 7%. Where did it go? Maybe I took it away. Here. Okay. Okay, so we had a 7% drop in Bitcoin and a 20% drop on Sui. Now, where Bitcoin is right now, excuse the flip-flopping backwards and forwards, we are in the middle of the range. Now, if we do drop down to that 97K zone, that you can see is a good 7, more likely closer to 8%. Okay, so if we drop 8% here, and for whatever reason we just end up doing something like this, okay, then we can expect another 20% off of Sui from this low. Okay, and if that is the case, this will take us into this zone of 216, 220, and it makes sense, right? You can see from the chart perspective why that would make sense to come down here. But this is also what I want to show. So let me just take that away. So I have a channel on here that I think is pretty appropriate and fairly well respected. So if you look, highs of the channel here, we can look here. This is the middle of the channel. Okay, we did actually chop straight through everything here down to here. Again, middle of the channel, once, twice, 3 times, down here, down here. You can see, you get the point. Okay, now if we fall 20% from here, let me just change this. If we drop the 20% after Bitcoin drops 7 or 8%, that's going to take us here. But if we come into this level and we come down into that level, look at how many times we've rejected up here. So this is a daily time frame, by the way. So when we just zoom out, you can actually see like this, and I've changed the color of the candle so you can see. You can see how we've come up and we rejected at the middle of this channel. Okay, you can see that. Okay, acted as a support here. Okay, so I think we've got a good case to support the idea that we could come into that 220 region, get a bounce, come back up, and basically reject at that 240 level. And if we do, then come down for this leg, okay, take out this low, okay, and then get the move up, okay. So I think that is, very, very possible for a move like that to happen. And then if I look at Solana, so this was analysis I've got on Solana, so you can go and watch this video as well. So I've got that up on Solana, up on my page, and this is essentially what I was waiting to see. We haven't actually come into that level yet, so it was down here, 126, 130. So presently we are, 15% away from that level. So yeah, I do think it is very, very possible if Bitcoin does get that dip to 97K, for us to, move down to these lower levels in alts. So set your alerts, be prepared for it. And I think personally, that's half the battle, is being prepared and knowing what you're going to do, because there's nothing worse than being unprepared, getting that drop, and then running around like a headless chicken, not knowing what to do with specific altcoins. So, okay, that's just my tip for the day. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you learned something. So just remember, always be looking at what Bitcoin is doing, because Bitcoin is going to affect all of the altcoins, whether it's aggressively moving to the upside or the downside. And the best conditions for altcoins is obviously when Bitcoin is, kind of stuck in a range. But right now, of course, with the anticipation of the news coming out this evening and so on, you can see why markets are, pretty much, I say range bound, but kind of on pause. So yeah, that's basically the video. I hope you enjoy it. Any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And thanks for tuning in.